Hey, I hope you're doing good. Today I'm going to paint in my sketchbook with gouache. I remember last year around this time I said that I'm going to paint everything I feel like and not just stay stuck with portraits. But then I just continued with this same kind of work. There's nothing wrong with that, but I feel like sometimes, not always, I feel like there are expectations from my side to do better every time with each painting, and it's kind of exhausting. So, again, just like last year, I have decided to be more lighthearted and enjoy and just paint whatever excites me. For this first study, I am starting with an underpainting which I do by mixing spectrum red and spectrum yellow, starting with the hair, and this is our second layer. I mixed ivory black with some spectrum red. I don't like burnt umber in gouache as it's not dark enough, so I mix my browns with ivory black and spectrum red. Some spectrum yellow to the brown mixture for this yellow ochre-like color. At this stage, I'm covering as much area as possible without worrying about mixing correct values and colors. I usually start with hair, then move towards the background. Some black and primary red. This red is more cool, and adding it to the black make them look richer without turning the black into brown or something muddy, which will happen with spectrum red. Primary red will give dark purples instead of brown. Some yellow to the black, adding it with some blue to get that green color. The dress is white, which means it will have some reflected color on it from the surrounding and not just plain white. Starting with the shadows, reddish grays and browns for this basket. Adding green and pink tones. In my last video, I shared about the importance of squinting. Today I have one more tip on painting impressionism or painting more loose. This is great if you are painting from a reference. Usually whichever device you're using to paint the painting from is really up close. So the tip here is to paint from a picture which is of thumbnail size or large enough to see the big shapes and details, so that you don't get caught with unnecessary details, especially in the beginning stages of a painting. Just adding different hues and variety in the light and shadows. Here you can be a bit more intuitive and see for different colors in that white. Adding white and a bit of black to the primary red and permanent green medium to lighten and tone it down. Adding the white almost directly from the tube or mix the bit with the color underneath. This is my second layer for the hair, adding more darks with red and black. I mix these midtones with spectrum red and permanent yellow deep. For the highlights, adding white, permanent yellow deep and spectrum yellow. Now I'm working with texture, adding more details, suggesting the waviness of the hair. to get these lightest highlights, adding more white and yellow to the yellows from the midtones. This basket is kind of the same color as the midtones and highlights on her hair. Ultramarine blue with some white for the sky. Darks are same, primary red and ivory black. So for the second painting, I'm painting a pond with some beautiful pink water lilies, and always inspired by all the greenery painted by Monet, and I wanted to paint some lilies in my style. With this study again, I'm starting with the same underpainting. I was a bit confused from where to start, and then like always I started with my darkest darks. Here I mixed ultramarine blue, primary red and ivory black for this water area, adding more ultramarine and less of the two other colors for the lighter blue midtones. But then I realized that I should start with the green messy marks first and save those darks for later to define the shapes of the lily pads. For the bright cool greens, I added just spectrum yellow to permanent green medium, and for the warmer greens I mixed permanent yellow deep, a bit of spectrum red and with permanent green medium. For the reddish pink color, I used primary red from the tube directly, added some white for lighter value, mixed with a tiny bit of ultramarine blue. Don't have to be precise, just cover the area. Now I'm just defining the shapes to suggest some lily pads. This is kind of frustrating. Adding more lighter greens. time to take out that opera pink, which usually sits in the cupboard. The pink color I mixed before looks dull, so I'm adding this to make the shadows a bit more vibrant. Then mixing some white to it for the highlights, and sometimes a bit of ultramarine or spectrum yellow. I mixed some white and primary blue for these highlights on the surface of water. This is something easy and you can try to paint in this way. So that's all for today, and I hope you liked it. See you in my next one.